Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Tags and Designer Tags, Canada's Drag Race Edition, episode 6.
Are we on episode 6? I thought we were
I
on
mean,
8.
what the fuck I said 6? Episode 8.
Episode 8. I was like, oh no, we're way past 6. So
Yes, they're all
finally, I feel like, I don't know if last week or this week was the best episode, but better. It was just like way
it's
better.
getting better.
So many plot lines, so many, the puppet challenge we're going to get into was so good. The read, those were probably some of the best reads since season
Those
6
were.
of American Drag
Yeah.
Race. With
Yes. I'm just like,
Bianca.
okay, now Canada's bringing it.
Right. Yeah. Now Canada's really, really bringing it. So let's get into it right away.
So they have a little mini challenge. Miss
Wait,
Jeffrey.
no. First is the boy illusions.
Oh, well, well, Jeffrey comes in to give them the mini challenge.
So,
And,
well, I don't know.
yeah,
If well, go ahead.
I just I put like we'll start with Jeffrey. So I know a good tailor. I can send you his number, but because why is everything shrunk or not like nothing like I get your initial instinct is okay, I want to wear a boot, and if the boot touches the shoe, it's a very basic instinct to have, but I get if you're not a fashion person, it's the instinct you would have. I my I want to wear the boot, but then my pant is leather, so I need to have breakage with skin so that it's not all leather. No, you can actually, those kind of rules are very just dated. Pull the pant leg down. It's fine. If you wear the leather pant and your leather boot, it's fine. You're gonna serve rocker, but your outfit is already serving rocker. It already lends itself to rocker. So go full on rocker and don't crop the pant because the cropped pant, it's just no one's doing that, first of all. And it's also just like, it doesn't make sense.
Um, I don't know if the audience at home gets into Manila and the
Oh,
Latrice
yes.
podcast show, but they had Willem on there, and he gave the best read for Jeffrey when he was like, "I know a good tailor who will let out your pants."
Well, yeah, that's subconsciously where I got the tailor thing from too. But I too know a good tailor that's cheap, and it's literally just like $10. So pump there, honey. That's where you need to go.
Ooh, you better give me that number because my tailor is expensive down here on the peninsula. Hold on, let me
Oh,
shut off this light because it's making me look like a ghost.
oh, okay. But yeah, so yeah, I just don't understand everything being cropped, everything rolling up pant, and then sometimes it's not even cropped. He like just rolls the leg up. Like this time he rolled it up, but this is like it's jeans. But he'll do that with suits too. I'm just like, why did you hike up the suit pant? That's just really confusing. I don't know. It's maybe he's trying to like make a new aesthetic, but it's just like, well, you're not influential enough for that to catch on.
He
You're
need to
cute.
go. He need to go. When also on the same podcast that I mentioned, they were like, "Who needs to go this week?" And they're like, "Jeffrey Boyer Chapman." I mean, it's like a universal feeling from previous Drag Race contestants to us to everybody else on the
Well,
YouTube.
we'll speak on it. Remind me when we get to the glitter to speak on what Willem gave because that gag took me the fuck out.
I was going to say that now, but you could say it for later. By
Yeah.
the way, I was like maimed in my hometown
Ooh, honey. This is what happens when you
yesterday. My dad tried to make me be butch and take a door off the laundry room because we're getting a new dryer, and I jammed a hammer into my thumbnail, and it is so painful, and I'm like icing it
well, that's a
like
very
my right
dated way to think
hand.
of it, to give
Just
gender roles of who can hammer. And I'm just kidding. But what you really need to say is, this is when you have a sissy trying to do late. And I'm just kidding.
that door had probably been there since 1978 when the house was built. It never been removed, so I was like, and then I just the whole hammer just scraped my entire thumb, and
Yeah.
so it is so painful, and I like sometimes lose the ability to like. So that is why I look like this today.
Rules is not something that I would put next to your name, Shane.
Handbags, yes.
Handbags, yes. Purses, yes.
All right, so let's get into these boy illusion.
Oh, yeah.
Lemon, always on brand with this Gen Z look. I love her little moon shoes she's giving you.
Yeah, it's cute, but it's also kind of like I'm sick of seeing you in all lemon, and I get it's your brand, but it's like I'm kind of sick
I
of it.
think this is
And
all
all
she can
yellow.
do, hun. I don't. I think this is somebody you call one note.
Yeah, she's very one note.
One
Then
note.
we have giving us her best. what is that, like a Aztec print?
I think this is the only sweater Priyanka owns because she has worn it about 16 times on an 8-episode
Right,
arc of the
right,
show.
with the hat. I'm like, well, I feel like, well, it also depends on when this was filmed. It's a
Right.
good chance, like, this could have
I
even been
think
filmed, like,
it's
2
from
years
like
ago.
the Madewell men's line and whatever was like in the sale bin. You know that scene in the Devil Wears Prada where there was like, I'm sure you dug that sweater out of some discount bin in New Jersey or whatever the monologue is.
Yes.
That's that sweater.
But when it makes its way to you, before it makes its way to you, makes its way down to that bit, yeah. Mhm. She gave me that. Now that would be someone good to play. We could do her ever if we ever are on Snatch Game. But
Oh yeah, I never really thought about that. Jimbo also recycling looks. I swear to God, he has worn this 3 times at least.
it looks like it smells.
Yeah, it probably does, honey.
Right.
It probably does. This is just Scarlet Bobo is just a classic case of that Chanel quote. Take the last thing off that you put on.
She's the low rent detox if there ever was one.
So this little Forever 21 sweatpant with this little Robertson, not even Robertson Boulevard, Melrose Avenue, not Melrose Place t-shirt. All
Now
of
what I
these
will say is
accessories,
I
that little
kinda like
crown.
the crown. I know that's crazy, but I kinda like the crown.
Yeah, I mean, in its context, it would be fine. Like if you
Yeah.
did, you love your little thirsty boy shots and your styling work with the underwear and the crown, that would be cute.
Oh, you mean I thought you meant for me to wear. Um
No, well, let's not bring up that thirsty Instagram series you posted a few months ago.
Well, yeah, but no, but you're right though. I would do like I would you're right. Like I would do kind of like a skin based editorial. But the thing is when I do those things, they're still tasteful. They're
Yeah.
not tacky.
The
I never
one thing you're really good at, even if you are styling like sexy, there's always like a sort of twist on that. It's not so, you know,
yeah, I would say that's my forte. But yeah.
definitely.
But yeah,
Definitely.
it's
Oh,
interesting.
Rita, honey. I mean, if you didn't tell me she was on the show, I thought she would have been one of those Rainbow Connections or Rainbow Railroad, whatever the charity was. They had to get her out of Quebec with the $10,000. This is all she was able to wear because it was an
She
emergency.
literally is giving me homeless.
If I saw her on the street, if she had a Starbucks cup, I would put change in it.
Offer her your leftovers, honey.
Oh dear, poor Rita. Okay, so then they go into the puppeteering challenge, which we're familiar from the American Drag Race.
Yes, well, that's
Version.
because Jimbo, yeah, yeah.
But
So yeah, he gives
this
them
was
the
incredible because this was almost like a reading challenge. It was
basically
so
it's
good.
reading with puppets.
Yeah. So this is Jimbo and Rita. And Rita really read Jimbo for her like mental breakdown she had the week before. What was amazing was, did Jimbo loan her all that jewelry? Because it was like
I did find it interesting. I was just like, how did you manage to find the same jewels?
she must have loaned the jewelry to her and been like, "Do this, and it will be funny." So, because
Or
there's no
she may have
way.
said, "Can I have your jewelry?" And she was just like,
Yeah,
maybe. But it's
exactly.
also possible. I mean, who knows what's in like the things that they give them to use? It's probably just like a multitude of things that they can just pull from. It's very possible they had little jangly jewelry.
Who did Scarlet Bobo have?
She had lemon. Oh wait, no, she had Baga. Right? Yeah, she had Baga.
That's why she has that awful line on her.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she said. I just remember it was funny.
Yeah, like that's the thing. But I personally say, to me, I'm like, is this one of those things where it's like production? It's just like, oh, she's never won. We got to give it to her, give her a win.
No, I thought she was good.
But Baga, I'm sorry, that was a fucking gag. Baga was a gag. Baga was truly a gag. Like I felt like Baga should have won because when she spilled all that tea, Jeffrey looked. Jeffrey
Oh
looked
yeah,
like
Jeffrey was gagged during this whole
he
thing
was gagged, but he was just like, oh, so
because
is that what
Jeffrey
you?
doesn't know how to do a proper read, and he saw what it was to do a proper read with this challenge. So that was why he was
Right.
gagged.
But he was gagged because he was just like, oh, so is that what she's been saying about me? So she was gagged because it was like true tea. Because at first she probably thought that she was like making up like a script she did, and then she probably by the end of it she probably realized like no, that's actually what Jimbo said, and she was probably gagged, and that's when she was just like, okay. But
And so Jimbo was hilarious with Scarlett Bobo, but what about that he made Scarlett look so old?
I mean, Scarlett doesn't look the youngest, to be
She's
honest.
only like 33, right?
Well, because everything's so fucking when you do that kind of, I feel like when you do that kind of like big lip filler type shit, it
Mhm.
automatically makes you older. Because how old is Detox? Is she your age?
Near. Like, she's over 35.
But yeah, but she looks like she could easily be 45
Yeah, but it was
because
funny when Jimbo was putting the like cotton or and stuffing
exactly.
into Scarlett's cheek, and she was like, "Not true, not untrue."
Right, exactly. So I'm just like, I I think Jim, I do think she looks older. Jim, but she's a gag, but I'm just like, ooh, these girls like I think they should stop it with the fillers.
Oh, and by the way, what about Scarlett Bobo spilling all the tea on Rita's crush on Lemon?
Oh yeah, now that was a gag. Now that was a gag. And
Because
I'm just I
I
would
had
like
not
to
picked
know a little. I wish there was some footage of that.
right, I had not picked up on that.
I
Have
didn't pick up on it
you?
either.
Well, yeah, because you know how they'll always make a storyline out of anything, you know,
Yeah.
entertainment value, and I had but you know what I think it is? I think Lemon's not really feeling it at all, so she's, like,
Oh,
not flirting.
she's probably like, girl, please, like no shade, but you would think they'd be messy enough to still show the footage of her being thirsty
Right.
and Lemon
Well, if
ignoring her.
Lemon was smart, she'd play into this storyline because it give her some more
Right.
airtime.
Well, that's true. It would give her more airtime. But it's also just like now look at Lemon. She is a quintessential New York queen. If you don't, if your body isn't like body down, if you're not a daddy or a zaddy rather, she ain't gonna give you a second look. And does Vita fit that description?
Mm-mm. Mhm. Okay, so Lemon got Priyanka, which was hilarious, and I love that she did the little like glitter number. That was just so spot on.
That was
And then Priyanka had Lemon with, of course, with Lemon in that coat she wears every single episode.
that
So
was brilliant too.
hilarious. And I love how she had the tiara in the hair, giving a nod
Right.
to her win last week. So overall, really, really good for
That was
what do they call this? Puppeteering challenge? They don't
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's because at this point, because you know they do the thing because everybody loves puppets. Like that's the thing.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I was like, it's not the library is open or the Snatch game, so I didn't know if it had like a proper name.
No, they tried to make it that Rue tried to make it like a thing. Why we're doing puppets? Because everyone loves puppets, so that's kind of their thing now. So
Okay,
then,
so I have to be honest, I had never heard of Rainbow Railroad until I saw
yeah. So
this
then,
on
well,
television.
Bobo won that challenge, so he got to
Oh yes, yes.
yeah. But Bobo won that challenge, and then Jeffrey brings out the people from Rainbow Railroad, which is basically like they've um it's like an organization that brings refugees from countries that are homophobic and bringing them to America. Which
Right.
is I've never heard of it either.
Well,
Which is
not even
that is
necessarily
that has good
homophobic,
content.
where it's illegal to be gay and they'll most likely be
Yeah,
killed or beaten severely. So
yeah,
I had never heard of this organization either. So I thought that the work that they did was really, really admirable. So, and not something we
yeah.
necessarily think about every
I mean I don't I well that's because I mean can't it's also it's very fitting to that it's very fitting too now that you mention it that this is the premise because I hadn't like I haven't necessarily heard. Do we? I don't know if like SF or anywhere in America has any affiliation, or is that just like a Canada
I think it
thing?
must be a Canadian only thing because I
But
think, you know, probably by this point, it's easier to immigrate to Canada than it is to
yeah,
the
so
US.
then
So,
that brings up a really good point then, because then my first kind of like any like kind of like representation of like Canada housing refu- housing refugees was
mhm.
actually from Handmaid's Tale, which is who the guest was from this time.
Oh, okay, yeah, because
We
I was like,
so I'm actually seeing a link, so I'm just like, "Oh," like, it's because that's kinda like the storyline of Handmaid's Tale, like, the reference and it's always and they do it from Canada, and I remember thinking, like, while I was watching it, I'm like, "Well, why did they choose Canada?" And it makes perfect sense now. I guess they really are really they're, like, the one place where it's actually kinda easy to bring people
well,
over, I
yeah,
guess.
because it's not an overpopulated country, and then we just have such deep systematic racism, you know,
Yeah,
for anybody. I mean, that goes for any century, you know, there's
yeah.
always a group, whether
So
it's
that makes sense. So
African
that
American people, Jewish people, Mexicans, you know, there's always some sort of group that's opposed.
but it would be nice if we had that too, because I'm like, you should your only option. I mean, granted, Canada's nice, whatever, but it's like, well, we should do it too. They shouldn't only
Right.
be able to go to
Well,
countries.
supposedly, you know, that's supposedly the American way, but not
I
in
know,
Trump's America.
I know, but yeah, but it's nice that an organization like that is out there because like when I saw the one from Uganda, I was just like, "Ooh, honey."
Mhm.
shit, I don't know much about Uganda, but I know
Right. Yeah.
you
No.
ain't
Yeah. It's no joke there in Syria either, or Indonesia, or any of those countries. And it was nice that the husbands were able to come together too.
yeah,
So
so the
these are
two
the husbands, the
from
two
Indonesia are
on the
married, which
top.
is nice.
So which I thought was really fun.
Yeah, Rainer and
And
Ika
the other
are
thing, these two on top, they have more of a face made for drag. These three do not. so, so this was, we're going to get into it later, but the
for sure.
I was really impressed with these makeovers. I
Yeah,
wouldn't, these three are not going to be going out and drag to the club every single week, but for what it was impressive.
right. So then since Bobo won, he was the one who got to match the girls with the Rainbow Railroad people.
Mhm.
So this is the people who he matched. He matched himself, which I was kind of like thrown off when he matched himself with the guy from Uganda. I was just like, interesting.
Right, because I think that, like, I don't know, I just, I love a dashiki print, and so I think he was just like, I saw that jacket, and I was like, that's my daughter.
But he was really fair because if you look at these people, he was actually
Yeah.
very fair. So
But
look
what
at
I thought was really, really sweet was they were all very into it. All the contestants and all
yeah,
of the Rainbow Railroad people, they really felt a kinship with these,
yeah,
and the queens really wanted to go the extra mile for them to give them a
true.
memory, and
But get into it, like because he said that he was being fair when he matched him. So
Mhm.
like get into the pictures because he actually was quite fair if you look at them. So he matched the kind of like the Jamaican one with her with Priyanka, and that culture is very similar to
Mhm.
Priyanka's. And then no shade, let's face it, Jimbo, kind of matched the older one together because I would say she's the older one out of all the other girls. Even
Shade.
I'm just saying she looks older. The other person who I would have said was older would have been the one with Lemon, but I
I
think she
wouldn't I wouldn't have been surprised if there was little Kai Kai with lemon in her little
probably
cereal tray.
early you got these girls and not without any men around, so I wouldn't have been surprised either. But yeah, that would have been the other person that was said older. But I think she matched Lemon because she really wanted to be fair because she was just like, I don't think Lemon has it in her arsenal to paint anybody else who isn't white. So I'm going to be fair and give it her. And honestly, I think that's why. Little did she know. We'll see later, but she couldn't do that either. But we'll see. And then Baga, I think she was just like they kind of had the similar face structure. So she actually was very, very fair.
And by the way, for the audience who has not watched this episode yet, please take note of this man and what he looked like out of drag.
Yes,
So, 'cause
please
this is
take note
very
of this man
important
right
later, and I feel like you and
very
I are going to box about it in a minute.
Oh, we'll see. If you have any opinion varying mine when we get to him, I'm going to read you the filth. But everyone take notice of his face right now and see how he's a cute little boy well, cute man from Syria. Look at him now. Everyone keep a mental image of that.
All right. So
So then
then they
they,
do the runway walk, which was hilarious because some of them picked it up like, I mean, there is
yes,
just some people that were born to walk in heels, and then there are a
yeah,
lot of like gay men who are like, oh, that looks fun. And then they get to it and they're like, ow,
yeah,
So
exactly. So they're teaching their drag daughters how to walk in heels, and it's just like, can we start with Jimbo? Does she not either look like a Slim Jim in its wrapper or a sparse Christmas tree?
But I love that the drag daughter was like, I want to be a slut. And she's like, come to mama.
Right. Right. Well, we'll get to that in the next
Because
one
that
too.
was so good. And then I'm just living for Lemon and her little jumper here, just like parading
It's
down the
giving
runway
American Apparel fish
like it's a
when it was
Fanta
over.
commercial.
Yeah.
And
Very
then poor Scarlet Bobo's man could not walk in heels to save his life.
Ooh,
But it was
that
hilarious,
that
though.
Scarlet Bobo's man is a man.
Yeah, he was definitely the definition of first time at a drag ball.
Right.
Butch first time at a drag ball walking in heels.
Right.
And
But
then
first time drag.
surprisingly, Rita Baga's man, I mean, like it was like the shoe didn't fit
We're going.
almost,
Yeah.
and she lost it at one point,
Right.
so on the runway. And then this one, born to walk in heels, it's like
Right.
just
She was
giving
born.
you
Well, I mean, she got the stance down, but she was a little shaky too. But she was still good. She's better than the rest. Yeah.
right.
So
So,
yeah, it was nice. That was a gag to see them on
but
the
you
runway.
could really see in their body chemistry in all these photos how
Yeah, for
much
sure.
care and consideration they put into their sisters.
For sure. Now
Okay.
this is where it gagged the fuck out of me. So Priyanka had me fucking gagging. So if you guys can see at the bottom what the girls are putting their daughters in, and then Priyanka goes, Bobo is dressing up. She's like, what's going on in this workroom? Bobo is dressing up like Lemon. Rita's dressing up like Bobo. And Jimbo is dressing her girl up like Lady Gaga. Jimbo, you don't look like Lady Gaga ever. You a clown. I was fucking gagging. I was gagging. Because it was so fucking true. Because I was just like, how is this a family? Like, what made you get to here? Like, you are a clown. Like, what made you want to do anything close to this? Whether
But
it be
you know what I thought was
or
incredible, even though the judges later were like, oh, it wasn't very polished. You know, to do a breastplate with a first time person in drag, you know, and to glue it down, I mean, it's so much work.
bitch,
I
that
was,
ain't no tea. It wasn't a long. I mean, did she take it off? No, they had the long sleeve on the whole time, so it's actually easy to cover.
oh, okay. Once again, she think everything's so easy. I never seen you with a breastplate.
I mean, you wouldn't know either because when you're in drag, you just throw on a smock and you don't even have titties either, though. So you have no room to speak either, bitch.
I have little itty bitty titty committee. She just needs her chicken cutlets. My favorite thing about like my real drag days, not my little revivals I've done in recent years, but like my real
That
true.
revival is a bad representation. I wish we could. I almost want to be messy and insert that revival that you sent me into this so that the people can see. But I would need to see some better version of drags because you literally had on a frock. It's the best word to use because it looked like a frock. I couldn't call it a dress. So I would need to see you in younger drag to see like if you have like what you give. But
I'll send you some videos, but my favorite thing was I used to just use like a cutlet as a breast because I was just so bone thin. And then when I would get drunk, like later in the night, I would take the cutlet and just throw it at the guy I liked or didn't like or whatever was going on just to stir up drama.
but yeah, no. But that being said, I too haven't. I've yet to use a breastplate. But that's also because when I was doing drag, when I was in my 20s, it wasn't really a thing yet. Now it's more of a thing.
That's true. That's true. It really has become a thing recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. And then, oh yes,
So,
that was a gag. So I had to give Priyanka tens for that.
okay. So you
Then
know
yeah.
more about this Amanda Brugel than I do.
Yeah, so then Amanda Brew, I'm just like, okay, now it's all starting to come out. I'm like, okay, there are big people from Canada. I'm seeing it more and more with every episode. So I mean, granted, she's not the lead in Handmaid's Tale, but she has a cute role. And I didn't know she was Canadian, so that was nice to see. So yeah,
I
she's from
mean,
Handmaid's Tale. She plays really well. She's a really good actress. Had no idea like what to see her in like this kind of like sassy girl. I was just like, oh, because I only know her as her character. So seeing her like this was nice to see. I was just like, oh wow, she's a gag and she's really pretty. I mean, she was pretty on the show too, but like seeing her really dolled up like this is a gag. I was just like, yes. And here are the other judges. How about can we unpack Brooklyn pelvic thrusting into Jeffrey,
but I love the face she's making.
right? Now, Jeffrey and the glitter. Now you could tell the people about Willem, what Willem said about
Oh,
her.
girl, what I told the other story. Why don't you tell them?
So, so Willem, if you guys watch that little podcast, she goes and stop doing your own, stop finger painting your eyes with glitter, and let the union artists do it. And I was weak as fuck because it is very true. I'm just like, did a professional makeup artist do that to you? Because if so, like, fire them. They fucked you up. Looks like she did it herself.
She's just a lot. She's just a lot of attitude, a lot of luck, a lot
She
just
looks like
a
she's going
lot.
like, you know, like when you have like Halloween party and you're just like, I don't know what to do. And then someone says, oh, well, you have that cute suit. You can serve like masquerade. And then they're just like, oh yeah. And then they just dab on some glitter around the eyes. That's what she's serving me, like masquerade.
But even though Brooklyn Heights is giving you Ursula with this wig here, I'm living for this little like mid 80s number. So
Yeah,
Stacey's like hair and makeup, I'm really feeling it. I love this earring, but what about this dress? It's so blah.
it has like
Fabulous. I know. I mean,
embellishments here
yeah,
and there.
everything going on in this photo on the left is fine, but here, I mean, it's not a, you know,
She's still the lesser of evils. I still like hers more than Brooklyn, if I'm being
it's not the
honest.
watermill art fair. It's a RuPaul Drag Race.
But I mean, she's a cis woman. She doesn't need to come in drag.
I guess. Her
I mean,
her
I
other
like.
thing
I,
she's
I kind
worn
of
is
don't really. I kind of like. I get where Brooklyn was going, but I don't necessarily like Brooklyn's that much.
in the words of Anna Wintour about Stacey's outfit, you've shown us things that were more exciting.
I mean, I guess that's true, but Brooklyn's is almost too exciting.
All right, so here's Priyanka and
Good.
Elektra, and I mean, for what this man came in with to
True.
how he looks now, I mean, this is
They
the
look like
makeover.
cousins.
Yeah,
They look like blood cousins.
you
Damn near.
you don't feel like sisters?
Not, I mean, well, the sisters because of the clothing and stuff, but I'm talking about like if you wanted to say, like, I think out of all the girls, if anyone had like you would say had like the most of a actual blood, like they could actually be blood, I would say it's them, but not sisters simply because one's big boned as fuck and a burly man, and the other one's like essentially dainty, and then you could obviously tell one's Indian and one's black, but they still could be cousins. But yeah,
She said big boned.
she is. I'm just like she looks like a football player in a dress, but it's cute. Like she did what she could with her.
She's giving me very New York 1996 Lucky Changs, and I am loving every minute of it.
Yeah. No, they literally look like they could be related as cousins, though. They're probably the only ones.
And I'm just living for the names. So Scarlet Bobo and
Okay,
Violet
well,
Bobo.
everyone's different.
I hate these outfits, but
Oh, it's atrocious.
I am
But the thing
so
is, they look like siblings, though.
yeah. But I am so with
They
the
can't
judges,
actually be blood
even
because
though
one
he
black,
was
but
like
they look like
this,
still.
like
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was walking on stilts. She was a football player coming down the runway in heels,
but she was having the time
but
of
she
her
was having a
life.
ball. She
And
was feeling her
the
puss.
the energy was infectious that she was
You could tell she was feeling her puss. The first
yeah.
time in drag, she was feeling her puss.
But I just she was so happy, and that just made me so happy to see.
Yeah, for sure. Very, very true.
Okay, so
And
that
they actually look like the same family.
okay, lemon and lime. So I know you have something to say about this makeup, so let's just get into it.
Well, I'm almost more curious what you have to say because we already know mine is going to be she looks like old lady.
Okay, you saw that butch ass man with the beard, looking all sorts of scruff hot. What were they gonna do with him? I mean, this is the best they could do.
Shane, no, that is not the best you can do. I don't know if you're trying to side with her because she's from New York, if because she's a dancer. Like, I don't know why you feel the need to like defend her, but you know,
Because
if you
girl, there was nothing you were gonna be able to do with that man face. This was a man, a man.
she was such a cute boy
Right, exactly.
that there is something that could have been done. You don't make her look old. Did she look that old when she was a boy?
Now that I will say she did look older,
She
but I
literally
just
looked like
think
like
the
her mom or
facial structure,
grandma.
there wasn't a lot you could do with it.
Well, Shane, this is why I'm saying like we are now we're in a time right now where like makeup is at its
Mhm.
highest right now.
Right.
You need to be able to do contour. That's all that's really missing. If she was contoured for filth, then she would have been serving. And here's the thing too. I think what it is Lemon was so caught up in like, oh, I want to be a pretty. Well, first of all, she was so caught up in wanting to do a flapper theme.
Mhm.
There's so many things that went wrong here. She was so caught up with wanting to do her flapper theme, and it's probably all that she packed, right? Because she's like, oh, we're gonna do flapper and we're gonna have the green here, we're gonna do flapper this way. But then when she saw who she was paired with, she should have immediately thought like, oh shit, I can no longer do this flapper moment because it's gonna make her look like a mom because flapper illusions already kind of have like a dated feel to them to begin with.
Mhm.
So I need to pivot and do something else now. That's what she should have thought. I don't know if it's because she seemed stubborn. She probably was just like, well, I'll make it work. Your immediate thought was just like, I can't put this bitch in the flapper because she's gonna automatically look old. Now switch. Now that's one thing. But a bigger issue was actually because you get these challenges ahead of time. Like as she said, everyone knows that you're gonna do a makeover at this point. So
Right.
she packed the flapper moments for the makeover. But if you knew you were gonna have to do a makeover and you know the bitch and she's also very like controlling too. She didn't let that bitch choose her name. She picked Lime for her, so she already knew she was going to do that from the
Which I
beginning.
thought was hilarious.
It is cute though, but she knew she was going to do that back when she was home. So if you're going to do that, why did you pack Flapper? You should have packed an all yellow number and an all green number.
Mhm. But this is what I'm
Not just two
curious
sad
about
wigs
because,
and
they
gloves.
do get the challenges ahead of time, but how do they even begin to let them know what size the other person is?
I
Because
think at
women's
that point,
tiny, so it's like that man is like a 16 probably just because of the shoulders only.
Yeah.
So
Well,
Lemon's like a
maybe if
forearm
they
day.
bring like two different sizes, bring like a medium size and a tiny size or something.
Honey, I think she went to JessicaMcClintock.com and ordered in a 6A, a 10, a 12, a
Oh
14,
yeah, or
a
something. Yeah,
16,
I feel like she probably
and
ordered
was
it. But
like,
my
I need to
point
make
is,
it
once
work.
she saw who she got, though, my point is, once she saw who she got, she should have been like, the flapper thing no longer works. Let me pivot and make something really quick and make a quick yellow, even if it's just like a quick yellow one piece and a quick green one piece. That would have been better than that, because that was just like, it didn't make sense, because it's like, why is it a green and yellow flapper and then the tones are like brown? Like, look at it, it's like brown. Like, where did that brown dress come from? Like, brown black dress come from? Hers is essentially fine because it's more nude and it's like it kind of plays into the yellow, but where did the black come from in the line? You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's also where this all went wrong. You can't just have your theme be, like I said, some sad gloves and a wig. Like, it needs to be full on. And then we would have been like, it would have hit us in the face, like lemon and lime realness, and it would have really hit us in the face, and it just would have been stronger. This flapper came out of nowhere, and all it did was make your girl look older with the fur and shit. It looks thrown together. I think the idea of lemon and lime could have been brilliant, but
Yeah.
all you did was make your girl look like your grandmother in
I
the process.
guess I'm probably being easy on everybody this week
You
because
are.
it was like,
I'm the first to tell you I can't do makeup like that either,
yeah.
but I would whip her. I would do better than that, because it's all she did was coverage. Shane, you can do that in your sleep.
Yeah.
She
I
literally only
guess
did
it's like I'm
coverage
just
and then
being
hide.
easy on everybody this week because everybody had such a good time, and I don't feel like it's necessarily about the look this week. It's more about the emotion it invokes. So
Shane,
I
competition at the
understand
end
your
of the
points
day.
of view, but I just
It's a
think that,
competition at the end of the day, bitch.
yeah, that guy was a man.
So
I mean, there was like,
it looks
that was
like
not a face
it's
made
an
for
old man
service.
though.
Yeah.
I'm actually almost more offended though that she made him look so old. Like, I don't know how. There's a way to fix it. She looks old because she didn't add any color in the face. It's
But
something
I don't
basic.
really think, Lemon, correct me if I'm wrong, but Lemon's really never claimed she's a makeup artist, right? She's never really been like, I'm a magician with makeup.
I mean, that's true too, because she kind of looks like a thumb.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't have any dimension to her face either, really, that much. So maybe she
Yeah.
doesn't know how
I
to do
think
contour.
there's
But
like some people like, Trixie who can really paint a face on anybody. But
yeah,
I think that's a real talent, and some people haven't
yeah.
really,
So you know what? You're right about that. It's not her thing too. Because like I said, I'd struggle
yeah,
with it
I
too.
wouldn't be able to
But
do
I
it.
still believe I'd be able to do better than this. And if I didn't do better on the makeup, I certainly would have turned it on the look and not
No.
put her in no dated flapper old
You
lady
know
pajamas.
what? The one thing that Livin did not get called out for that I'm seeing here that I'm just noticing now, she still didn't patch. She's still giving you no boob, no
I mean,
titty.
at that point, this is a minor offense because it's like it's fine. It kind of goes with it. It's fine. Because if she were to have a boob, like how is she gonna have a boob?
I guess it's true.
Like, yeah, like she couldn't really have a boob. But
Oh Lord. See, and this is why I'm not that mad at Lemon because this was the worst.
I would almost go as far as to say, though this is offensive, I like this more than lemons. That's how strongly I feel.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really understand the
Maybe she
concept.
can
So
get more.
was it
That's
like a
also.
maid and a clown or?
Oh wait, before we move on, here's why
Oh,
I'm so offended.
okay.
This is the a gay person's first time in drag. They want to they want to feel their oats, honey. They want to feel like they want to feel something. But all you did was make her. You probably made her look self. You probably made her self conscious. She probably looked like, oh, like she probably was just like, do I look this old? And she probably was just like, I'm never shaving again. She probably said that too. I bet you, because she literally aged the fuck out of her, Shane. She can't be no more than like your age.
Oh,
No reason.
she's much younger than me. I think she's like 25.
The girl from Syria.
The Syria girl? Yeah.
Oh my word. Well, oh my word. Well, see, that's real. There's no reason we should be using the word. We're not even using mother. We're using grandmother. That's
Right.
how old she made her look. That is
A
offensive,
lot of
Shane.
people aren't as genetically blessed as I am.
Um, I'm just kidding. But not just kidding.
No bags, no lines. Lovely.
Yes, no, that's true. But it's just really offensive. No, Shane, that's unacceptable. She made her look old. So I don't know what she needed to do, but she needed to figure out, because it's still, at the end of the day, it's your job to make the person feel good. That girl could not have possibly felt good because she made her look like an old lady.
I
Ooh,
just have a feeling she probably just ran out of time. She probably started doing the makeup and was like, ooh, and then
probably spend all the time on her own
she
face.
was like, just put on some more liner, some more blush. Just
basically.
It's
But
like
that
that
being
old,
said,
it's like that
you
old Michael
have a
Allen
point.
quote. You have a hunchback, just put some glitter on it and go dancing.
Well, that being said, now that you mention it, now that you said it though, it is true. Like not everyone's strong suit is doing makeup, and it's very obvious that it's not hers. Now, let's unpack on what she would have needed. If ever there were a time to do Trixie makeup, it would have been on her.
Mhm. Oh
On
yeah.
that girl, 'cause then we would have just she would have been so disguised we wouldn't know what the fuck she looked like, and she wouldn't look
Because
old, she wouldn't look anything.
Trixie out of drag is not giving you anything feminine
Exactly. So
whatsoever.
you needed to do that on her.
Mhm.
Ooh, honey, that she just
Yeah, I was gonna bring this into the conversation earlier. There's a lot of people like, Nina West, who looks like a linebacker, out of drag, but I still think Nina really still has a face that like is
makes it stand
draggable,
out.
you know. So even though her body
Have
is
you seen Yenta?
who?
That's who I mean Yenta. Have you seen Fiddler on the Roof?
Oh yes, Yentl.
She looks like Yenta. That's immediately who I thought of when I saw
Girl,
her.
it's Yentl. Yentl.
Oh, Yenta, whatever. I'm not Jewish, bitch, but I like my
I'm
musicals.
sorry, Jewish community. I know some of you are watching.
But I know the musical, and I just I'm
Oh,
surprised.
you know the
I
musical,
knew
but
I
you don't
knew
know
in the
how to
back of
pronounce
my mind
it.
it's Yentl too, but I don't know why I said that. But I still know all the lyrics, bitch. I'm still more of an advocate than you for the Jewish community. Don't make it sound like I'm racist, bitch. But anyways, and but she looks like she easily could have played the mom on Fiddler on the Roof. Like that's how.
Okay, John Travolta, Adina Menzies.
I mean, not the mom. She looked like she could have played the matchmaker in Fiddler on the Roof, and that was an old lady. So unacceptable.
All right, well, let's move on to Rita. So Rita and Terry Baga, you take the lead with this because I don't even know what is going on here. I
I
really
actually, I mean, I get. I'm all for a good storyline too. I was confused as to why she went clown, but it's just really random to me that she went clown. But I mean, I see the correlation. It's just it's construction issues. It's construction issues and taste. So both illusions look like they were pulled from a Halloween, like a spirit store bag. It's very Halloween, so that's the first problem. But it's like I said, it's still less offensive than the other one, than Lemon. But I think her biggest problem for Baga was she chose to do like a tulle skirt underneath rather than like a cropped petticoat, because it made the underneath look all wonky and lumpy because it was simply just tulle underneath. If she got like like the little short petticoats and put the dress over, it would have at least been like a smoother line. Would have been less offensive.
never in all my years of living did I ever think you used the word petticoat in a sentence.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna go, like, if, there's sometimes it calls for it. There are sometimes it call for it, and I
All
got
right.
yeah.
In Jimbo and Bimbo, I don't care what anybody says. I loved every minute of this. I thought it was so
I,
good.
I mean, they look. Don't get me wrong, they do look related, but it's like I'm just wondering why you went there. Like,
Oh, I think that illusion is everything. The breast, the tuck, the hair. I mean, they're just giving you the best of like cable, like 1-900, like girls a la Pamela Anderson in 1996. And I'm living for every moment of it. See, this is the thing. If you're going to give me slutty, give me this over the top slutty.
I
I
mean,
want
yeah,
you to be full on like Y2K video whore.
no, they look like the fuck destroyer. They look like that. The cock destroyer. They look like that.
Totally, totally.
But but it's also just like why though? That's not your brand. I feel like if you're trying to like make up your drag daughter, you should stay within your brand, and
I
your brand is
totally
clown.
think this is Jimbo's brand. Hello, last week she swallowed a microphone on stage.
That was her character though. Like there was a character she pulled.
This is
Her
very much
actual
Jimbo's
brand is
brand.
clown, huh?
Uh, slutty clown. Slutty clown.
When has she ever been a slutty clown? All the other times she just serves
All the other episodes?
not really slutty. They've always been. Well, there's a
That
okay. I guess
first look
sometimes. I
she
guess you're right. She
came
does kind of
in with was
infuse.
like high
Okay, fine.
fashion slutty. It was like
Okay, fine. You're
Balenciaga,
right.
just like
You're right.
porn.
I guess she does. I guess you're right. Okay, fine. Fine. I guess. Okay, fine. I guess you're right. Fine.
I think that's the
But
first
I
time I've
was
ever
just,
beat you down with an opinion.
huh?
I think that's the first time I've ever beat you down
That
with
is.
an
I mean,
opinion.
yeah. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will. But I just wish it was something else. But it's
Okay, so Rita and Lemon had to lip sync. And this was one of the most incredible lip syncs in Drag Race history, I feel. How do you feel it's
I
that
think
significant?
I think it was one of the best ones.
Because number
I would
one,
call I
they
would call Baga an assassin.
yeah. Well, Lemon was an assassin as well, I feel. So
I don't know
I
about that.
she was a
No,
very
she was good, but I
it,
wouldn't call her no assassin.
it was neck
Simply
and neck.
because I don't know if it was neck and neck because at first when it started, I was just like, okay, it's cute and it is neck and neck. But then I watched it, and as it got to the end, I was just like, Baga's really giving the emotion. And then I watched it again later while it was making this, and I was just like, no, it's not even a competition, simply because emoting is so important for lip syncing, and Baga just emoted fully
I
and really
felt like
captured the
they,
essence of
they
the
did
song.
the, they did the song. Alanis Morissette is Canadian, and she's one
Mhm,
of the most famous Canadian exports. And number
mhm.
one, the number one reason I really love this thing so much is they did the song all the way through, and
Yeah.
all the things that I really preach about on the show about how it's become too much about the makeup, it's become too much about the stunts, it's become too much all these
Yeah, but the thing is,
excuses.
Lemon still did a stunt.
But it wasn't. It made sense for the moment to me.
You thought
So
the splits made sense.
it was everything that Lemon did was on brand for Lemon. I felt she wasn't trying to be anybody else but herself during the show, and I felt the same thing for Rita. But the thing I think why Rita did have the advantage was this was like Rita's era, like 1995, Alanis Morissette.
You could tell
Rita was the
Rita
big girl in
understood
her
the lyric.
apartment listening to this angry Alanis Morissette song that was written about Dave Coulee from like
I
Ohio
think
State.
but I think you can really tell when a girl understands a song.
Yeah,
Rita understood the song. I think Rita understood the song, whereas Lemon learned the words
yeah.
but didn't
Lemon
understand
heard
them.
this song when she was like 5 to 7 years old, so it's like in her body that way. Rita lived this song
Yeah,
while it was happening, while it was popular. So
exactly.
that's
So,
the difference because
yeah, because
Rita
I found that split to be desperate.
mm,
I felt like it didn't need to
there's
be
a
there,
lot
and
of times
that
I have felt
understanding
that way.
was
There's been a
desperate.
lot of times I have felt that way about, the theatrics of some of these things, but I didn't feel that way about Lemon. I felt like she really hit it with a mark where it was
Like,
so
don't get me wrong, it was she was fighting, but like I was just like, I didn't need a split. Like I would have rather you use more emotion. Like I felt like she lacked emotion. Like you could like the way Baga was just feeling it. You could it almost like she almost you could it felt like she almost wanted to start crying because she was feeling
Mhm.
the emotion so much. And that's what a good lip sync
Yeah.
should do.
But it really goes to show you, with Rita, her outfit wasn't that great that she presented on the stage. Her makeup really wasn't that great, made her much older than she already is.
Yeah, I was just like, now the makeup was actually really bad.
So, but man, she really turned it with the sync and the emotions. I mean, it's exactly like I said. She had not only knew the words, had lived through the era, she had lived through this song. This had happened to
That's what
her
I'm saying.
with
She
some men,
understood the song.
understood. And that's what
If you ask Lemon what that song really means, I don't even think she'd be able to tell you.
Mhm. And
She
it's
just
kind of
learned lyrics.
And it's kind of like when you were saying about Alona Veerley when she did Avril Lavigne's Girlfriend, like that is probably so of her era and so in her 8-year-old mind. So that's why it really worked for her. And that's why I'm saying this worked so well for Rita. Rita was probably, in her early
True,
20s, or her late teens when the song came out. And so, like I say, lived the song.
true.
So,
I
and
mean, it's something you would be able to turn to.
Oh yeah, I mean, without question. I mean, I actually like Alanis Morissette's second album more than her first. So, but yeah, this, I mean,
It's very much like one of those things. It's like if we give you that song, you'll be able to turn it. If we give you the Cardi song, like
oh yeah, no, I would not be able to do WAP. Like I'm watching them like with the kick and
yes,
and I'm like the John Sibley video where he's like,
exactly. Yeah, trying to see have you do the WAP choreography would be real interesting. So it's just like you're right. Sometimes it does play to people's age a little bit
right.
different, but
I probably could do it after like 4 drinks at like Toad Hall, but have to really get me there.
But you are right though, because and it's the same thing too, because we've seen it before in the past when like Latrice has had to lip sync. Remember, I can't remember the
Oh.
song, but they gave her like a an
When
older
she did
song.
the Aretha Franklin number, I
Yeah,
forget who she was against, but she used her little big stomach as like the baby, and it was like I've seen Latrice perform several times, and she did Four Non Blondes, "What's Up" in the evening gown, and that's that song that's like, "Hey, yeah, 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 hey, yeah." I said,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah,
what's going on?" That audience fell to the floor because she gave you nothing but back and forth on the
right.
stage, and then the chorus, and then she'd just be like, wave her arms. I mean, it was like we were, you know,
Emotion.
yeah, I mean, the
Feeling the song.
emotion was just
So that's
insane.
what I'm saying. Like it is true that sometimes you're strong, so you're gonna have like it's gonna play to your strong suit a little bit more if it's like from your generation. But that being said, a drag queen should be able to turn anything.
Right, right, yeah. So,
Because I'll even turn like a Frank Sinatra song if I needed to.
oh. You know, my favorite film of all time is John Waters' Hairspray, which came out in 1988, and so they have people
How's
auditioning
that
for
your favorite
this.
film and you don't like musicals?
Right. She, I like that is my favorite film. I want nothing to do with the musical. The musical has nothing to do with that film. So I refuse to watch any of that with the musical. And Nikki Blonsky,
Oh,
I don't know anything about that life. So, but anyhow, you know, the Corny Collins show, which they're auditioning for. I love the part where she was like, they were like, will you dance to this person? Will you dance to that person? She'll be like, I'll dance to Lawrence Welk if I have to.
yeah, I remember that.
So that's what I always say when I'm like pushed against a corner, and I'm like, I'll dance to Cardi B if I have to. By the way, I have really been getting to Megan the Stallion since that song's become a hit, and she's such a talented rapper. I mean, she's like one of the best MCs of all time.
What other songs do you know?
Uh, whatever her
Trying to find
Spotify list is right now, I don't know any of the titles.
some. I'd be interested to see.
I'm
Next
so
time I
into this like shot in the foot drama. I got all into her story this week.
next time I see you, I'm gonna make you rap some of it.
Right. Bougie, ratchet, savage.
Well, not the basic ones. I'm gonna need you to rap some of her other songs.
I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could spit rhymes like that.
We got a girl from Modesto, honey, trying to channel her inner Megan.
You put on some Selena, you give me some happiness.
Oh no, we know you can turn that. It's a
She
no
was
brainer.
born in a field, honey.
But yeah, so overall, this was a really good episode. It's probably one of the best because I really live for the
Yeah,
puppet challenge. It was a
I'm very vested to see who the top three is going to be. Very vested, and it's going to be interesting whether they do that big mega finale. I don't think they are because I don't think if Rue comes, they don't have the production value. So it's going
They
to
might
be
still. They might still.
maybe, but you know, it's the first season,
Well,
and
I mean, well, I don't know about
a
like a
stadium. Yeah, I don't think they're going to do a theater. I
Well, what
think
did they do for the UK actually?
I
Well, I
don't
mean, that was too.
I don't watch it to the end to be honest because it's
Oh,
been
you tried it.
yeah, I need
I
to.
can't remember what they did.
I
I
think
want
it's
to
on
say.
Prime. I should finish that tonight. So
I
I
want to say they did
audience, I
do it.
also like just got done with like grad school, summer school. So it's like I have like a lot more time on my hands. And so like Ronald
Yeah,
sends me 36 things a day. And like now I'm gonna be able to watch like 26 of them instead of just
yeah.
19.
Well, yeah, watch that. But from what I remember, I think they just did like yeah, they didn't do a big show like the normal RuPaul, like how they rent out the hall in LA.
Yeah.
They didn't do that for the UK. Even though RuPaul was there, they didn't rent out like a big production. Um, so yeah, so maybe they'll do the same for this. They'll just do it in house
Mhm.
and not be like a huge thing at least. I
Okay.
would like to
So
see it.
also on another note, we are running out of story ideas.
I know,
I filmed today. We were like,
I know, but
not a lot's going
we'll
on in the
probably
world.
do the VMAs.
Yeah.
Bring it
So if
back
you
to our
guys have some
fashion roots.
ideas about like what you want to see from
Oh, but
us,
yeah,
like put them in the comments. So
but yeah.
because
Also, give us some ideas.
yeah, we will make anything you guys want to see from us. So if you
Yeah,
want
because
me
as
to
of right
do,
now, all we have is the VMAs as an option because we're
yeah,
just like, okay, well,
if
we
you
could do the
want me to do the
that,
WAP
but
dance, I'll do the WAP dance.
no, that would be a gag. But yes, yes, but give us some suggestions other than
Because
that because we're at a loss.
we are a struggle bus,
There's
and
nothing going on right now.
we do not want to feature anything with those crazy RNC people like that. So we're like,
But
not a lot is going on in the world right now.
yeah, there's not a lot. So if you do have any ideas, give us. But other than that, stay tuned for or whenever the VMAs is. It should be coming up. But that we know for sure we'll do. And
So
then,
Ronald, what are they gonna do?
but yes, in the meantime, subscribe. We will have something new coming up. So subscribe to be able to see whenever whatever new comes up. You'll be the first to see it, subscribe, and then like and all that.
Right, okay. All right. We're going to see you soon. All right. Wish me well for my thumb. I keep doing it that side. Ah.
You're good.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye.